problem statement. In this way, in the present research work, the new learning evaluation techniques will be identified as a mechanism to improve the students' academic model and specifically how a rubric model for the evaluation of learning will be designed and applied. English, a language of extraordinary linguistic richness, which owns its origin to the diversity of influences it has assisted. English is the universal language of communication in many fields of action. It is the means by which obtained technical specific information for the development of science and technology at the service of education. Industry and commerce moves. The political hegemony of United States, the American, over time has implied a need or consistence to introduce English language learning into the educational system of most countries for later use a different profession and context. The productive skill of writing serves to communicate in the writing with other people and is like the most complex since the individual must have the cognitive ability that allows his ideas easily and coherently. However, you cannot leave aside receptive skills such as listening and reading. Oral and reading comprehension signs they can use for the acquisition of information. For example, in a conversation, the speaker becomes a listener and the reader becomes, and this time you will have to communicate or respond in writing. Several causes has been detected that do not allow students to develop their productive skills, such as the lack of experience of teachers in the management of the class. Specifically when there is a specific number of the students, which makes monitoring in the teaching process difficult. In addition to the activities taught by the teacher, they focus on a single text which decreases little enters the subject of English. Contextualization. This research is focused on the problem that affect the development of produce English language skills, the same ones that will be thoroughly analyzed to produce possible solution focuses on the use of the different methodological, strategic, and activities that contribute to this problem. Today, the teacher must know many innovative methodological strategies to better prepare and acquire the new language, such as language science. The need continues a practical producer to obtain good results. This research will help my work since using a didactic guide, we can we can improve the learning of language writing. The guide is an eye or goal for teachers in English area, as well for students. Teachers can use the activities that this guide presents at the time that is convenient and with them help. The student develop the ability to express themselves in writing form. Continue. Analysis of the variables. Characteristics. Independence variable rubric. Rubric assessment instrument consisting of the matrix that assesses a student's performance based on specific criteria and assessing them according to the quality levels or scales, and allows to know exactly the levels of learning knowledge, comprehension, and or abilities achieved by a student in a specific job or subject. Develop dependence variable, writing expression. It's a linguistic skill that refers to the production of writing language. It consists of expressing by means of conventional things and in orderly way any thought or ideas. It mainly uses verbal language, but also contains non-verbal elements such as map, graphs, mathematical formulation, etc. Continue. Formulation of problem. How does the Arabic contribute to the evaluation of the writing expression of the English language in the students of the first year of high school? Virgen del Consuelo in Quito. Guiding question. How is Arabic an ideal technique for the formative evaluation of writing expression of the English language? What elements must have Arabic to effective in the writing expression of the English language? What level of writing expression of the English language do the students of the vocabulary see first in Virgen del Consuelo, Quito? What strategies and vacancies in the writing expression do you student on the first high school, Virgen del Consuelo in Quito? Objectives. General objectives or goals. Describe how the rubric contribution to the development of the writing expression of the students in the high school Virgen del Consuelo. Specific objectives. Determine how the rubric in ideal technique for formative evaluation of the writing expression of the English language. Identify the elements that rubric must have to effective in the formulate evaluation in the writing expression. Describe what level of writing expression in English language the student of the Virgen del Consuelo School. Analyze what strategic and weaknesses in the writing expression of the English language are presented by a student in the Virgen del Consuelo High School. Justification. This project arises from the need to identify the use of suitable assessment instruments that allow teachers to have broad and more real vision of the students' progress for the formulation, evaluation of the writing expression of the English language. Students applicate by necessary feedback can be produced within the teaching learning process of the English language, which will be success final result. The Arabic is presented as an evaluation instrument focused on educational process. Well, although it is adaptable and applied to different fields where formative evaluation of the writing expression in the English language. This will benefit both students or both of them, students and educators who are interested in implanting or using such a tool or improving a practice that they have already introduced in their own pedagogical work. This research work will allow us make a proposal that an evaluation tool has been developed that allows clarify the performance orienting about the criteria that a job must satisfy, facilitating the co-evaluation by the students and reflecting on the experience or in the collective form. Likewise, a rubric was prepared, organized around the three dimensions that describe the tasks require the excellence, satisfactory, acceptable, and insufficient levels, so that they themselves could co-evaluate their productions. It will provide teachers with a tool that will allow them evaluation in an objective way. Under explicit and team-like measurement criteria with which they will be able to qualitative measure and document the different levels of achievement that the student must achieve. In order to perfect its intervention, the educational process, tending towards the achievement of the effective learning and mastery of English as a second language of its students. Likewise, it will encourage the involvement of students in their learning process by guiding them about what the objectives are regarding given topic, thus allowing them to conduct a self-assessment that guides them to the successful achievement of the process goals. Thanks.